Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the Midday News. The headlines. All arrangements in place for cargo flight operations to ensure medical supplies reach various parts of the country. Centre asks all states and union territories to allow transportation of all goods during lockdown. Health Ministry confirms 100 COVID-19 patients have been cured and discharged. Government says migrant people must be quarantined for a minimum period of 14 days. Asian Development Bank announces $100 million funding for Indian infrastructure sector. Government is ensuring cargo flight operations for medical supplies to reach various parts of the country. The Civil Aviation Ministry is coordinating with state governments for supply of medical equipment and related essential items needed for protection against and testing for COVID-19. Based on requirements received from various states on urgent basis, the senior officials of the ministry are coordinating with supply agencies for providing required material which can be further transported to the desired destinations. Air India and Alliance Air flights are being operated to carry out the necessary supply operations. Agencies authorized by the Civil Aviation Ministry to carry shipment on these flights are in contact with the concerned officials of their region and coordinating for timely delivery and receipt of shipments. The information sharing, answering of queries and the work at ground is going on round the clock for delivering supplies to the destinations in a timely manner. The Centre has asked state governments and union territory administrations to effectively seal state and district borders to stop movement of migrant workers. It has ordered to ensure adequate arrangement of temporary shelters and provisions of food and other facilities for poor and needy people stranded due to lockdown announced in view of the COVID-19 outbreak. Briefing reporters in New Delhi yesterday, Joint Secretary in the Home Ministry, Punya Salila Srivastava, said the migrant people who have moved out to reach their home states must be kept in the nearest shelters by the concerned states and quarantined after proper screening for a minimum period of 14 days. The ministry has also directed the employers, including industry, shops and commercial establishments, to make payment of wages of their workers on the due date without any deduction. The landlords of workers have also been ordered not to demand rent for a period of 1 month. It has been warned that action will be taken if any landlord forces labourers and students to vacate their premises. The Home Ministry has asked all states and union territories to allow transportation of all goods without distinction of essential and non-essential during the 21-day lockdown period. In a letter to State Chief Secretaries, Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla said the newspaper delivery supply chain is allowed during the lockdown. He also said the entire supply chain of milk collection and distribution, including its packing materials, has also been allowed during the period. Besides, groceries, including hygiene products such as hand wash, soaps, disinfectants, oral care items, battery cells and chargers are also allowed. The government has constituted 11 different empowered groups to suggest measures to ramp up healthcare, put the economy back on track and reduce the misery of people as quickly as possible post the 21-day lockdown imposed to contain the coronavirus pandemic. Each group has a senior representative from PMO and the Cabinet Secretariat to ensure seamless coordination. These groups have been set up under the Disaster Management Act. The groups have been empowered to formulate plans and to take all necessary steps for their time-bound implementation. The initiative is being viewed as a proactive step by the government to deal with multiple challenges which the outbreak of COVID-19 has posed. The Health Ministry has confirmed 1,071 coronavirus cases in the country. It has also confirmed that 100 patients have been cured and discharged and 29 deaths have been reported in the country so far. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has given approval to 123 government laboratories and 47 private laboratory chains for testing of coronavirus. In the wake of growing novel coronavirus cases in the country, the Health and Family Welfare Ministry has issued several advisories for the people to contain the spread of COVID-19. These advisories stress on several preventive measures like social distancing, personal hygiene and restriction of mass gatherings. A report.
Government has said that there is enough supply of essential items and people need not worry and rush to marketplaces. People are advised to have patience and keep calm while shopping for essential goods and medical supplies. Frequent trips to buy essential items should be avoided and people should refrain from shaking hands and hugging as a matter of greeting. At least 1 meter distance should be maintained by people at marketplaces, medical stores and hospitals. Non-essential social gatherings at home should be avoided and visitors at home should not be allowed. People should not touch their eyes, nose and mouth and frequent hand sanitation is a must. Both sides of hand have to be washed for at least 20 seconds. If a person is experiencing cough and fever or any other symptoms, he or she should avoid close contact with others and doctor should be consulted immediately. The Health Ministry has issued a toll-free number 1075 for the public for enquiry about coronavirus. With Bhupendra Singh, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. M.V. Padma, Head of Neurosciences Centre, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, has said that we need to stay home to stay safe and break the chain of transmission of COVID-19.
A virus has invaded our earth. It has invaded us. And there are zillion concerns. There are concerns about our survival, about food, about education, about career, about profession, about our movements. But these are questions for the first time in 3 generations that we are facing. But they are relevant only if we are alive. To stay alive, stay home.
Dr. Neeraj Nischal, Associate Professor Medicine in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, tells us why the lockdown is essential and why it is required to follow the advisories.
This is a new virus, so it has got a very big ego. It will not come to your house unless you go out and invite it. So stay home, stay safe.
For listening to other experts, tune in to our next bulletin. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that all banks are ensuring that their branches are kept open and ATMs are being filled up. In a tweet today, she said banking correspondents are active. The minister said social distancing is respected and sanitizers are provided. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today transferred 611 crore rupees in accounts of 27.15 lakh Manrega workers. An average amount of 2,250 rupees was transferred in their respective accounts electronically. A report.
Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath spoke to many Manrega labourers through video conferencing and assured them that apart from money, all labourers will also get 3-month free ration and free cylinders. Chief Minister has also written a letter to Chief Ministers of all states and urged them to take care of the people of Uttar Pradesh who are stuck in their states. The state government again said that migrant labourers stuck in other states can call, mail or fax their problems to the nodal officers deputed by state government in 16 states and union territories. Meanwhile, in state capital Lucknow, administration has taken over few hotels and government buildings to prepare shelter homes. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Maharashtra, the total number of corona affected has reached 215. However, with as many as 38 people getting discharged, the active number of patients stands at 177. In order to control the spread of the disease, the state government has taken strict preventive measures. The authorities are taking action to curtail the movement of migrant labourers. State Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray reiterated the need to remain at home while abiding by the restrictions of the lockdown to win the battle against the deadly infection. More from our correspondent.
ensuring that out-of-job migrant workers will be taken care of by the state administration. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray appealed them to stay where they are and not to travel any further to contain risk of coronavirus spread. In an address on social media yesterday, CM Thackeray said that the state administration has also decided to provide food, shelter and health facilities to Adivasis and sugarcane cutting laborers who are adversely affected due to the lockdown. Maharashtra government has also decided to provide meal under the Shiv Bhojan scheme at ₹5 per plate instead of ₹10 per plate in various district and taluka level centers. With Nivedita Devpriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 new positive cases of novel coronavirus were reported from Jammu today, taking the total of positive cases in Jammu and Kashmir to 41. Spokesman of J&K administration Rohit Kansal confirmed this in a tweet. No fresh case has been reported from Kashmir. More from our correspondent.
These new cases were reported from Jammu, taking the total to 41. Currently, 37 people are under treatment, including these new cases. 2 have recovered, while as 2 people from Srinagar and Baramulla have died so far. The government has dedicated 11 hospitals as COVID hospitals. In a latest development, the government has roped in private hospitals and nursing homes to create additional isolation facilities for treating COVID patients. So far, quarantine facility of over 35,000 beds has been created across the Union Territory. Apart from this, distribution of rations, supply of essentials and enforcement of lockdown is being managed smoothly with people's cooperation. Nasir Rathir, AR News, Jammu.
Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal today held a meeting with Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and other officials through video conferencing. He discussed with them the measures to enforce the lockdown and maintain social distancing to contain the spread of corona as per the instructions of the central government. People of Delhi are following the government's appeal to stay in their homes during the lockdown period. To deal with the present situation, people are engaging themselves in different activities like completing their household chores, playing indoor games, reading books, gardening and pursuing their hobbies. Sharing their views with AIR News, they appealed to people to stay at home to keep everyone safe.
This is Kavita Rai, speaking from East Delhi, Lakshminagar. I am completely in favor of lockdown. I am spending my time to teach and play with my children. Lockdown made me spend more time with my family and closer to them.
I, Lavanya Rai of East Delhi, Lakshminagar, is a student of class 12. I am completely in favor of this lockdown. This lockdown made me spend more time with my family and get closer to them. I appeal all the people to stay inside their homes and stay safe.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today shared his yoga videos on Twitter. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said practicing yoga has been an integral part of his life for many years and he has found it beneficial. He said he shared his yoga videos as someone asked him about his fitness routine during yesterday's Mann Ki Baat. He hoped that everyone begins practicing yoga regularly. The Union government today clarified that there is no plan to extend the 21 days lockdown which came into force on the 25th of this month. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau said Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba has denied media reports claiming that the government will extend the lockdown. Multilateral Institution Asian Development Bank ADB yesterday announced $100 million funding for the Indian infrastructure sector through the government-promoted National Investment and Infrastructure Fund (NIIF). The Manila-based body will be investing in NIIF tranche of funds, which will ensure that the actual money invested will be a few times more than the $100 million. NIIF's Chief Executive Sujay Bose said the ADB's commitment to NIIF fund during these extraordinary and challenging times is highly meaningful. The International Table Tennis Federation ITTF has suspended all planned events till June the 30th and frozen the world rankings due to the upheaval caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The ITTF Executive Committee met yesterday to discuss the effects of the coronavirus outbreak on the international table tennis events schedule. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. All arrangements in place for cargo flight operations to ensure medical supplies reach various parts of the country. Centre asks all states and union territories to allow transportation of all goods during lockdown. Health Ministry confirms 100 COVID-19 patients have been cured and discharged. The government says migrant people must be quarantined for a minimum period of 14 days. And Asian Development Bank announces $100 million funding for Indian infrastructure sector. For details of these stories and more, visit News on AIR app and log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the midday news.